Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Frel, your professor. Hello class, good morning. We're back in 2021. Our topic this morning is on the Rostow's theory of economic growth. Rostow's stage of economic growth model is one of the major models of economic growth. It was published by American economist Walt Whitman Rostow in 1960. There are 5 stages involved in the theory. First is the traditional society, followed by the precondition for takeoff, the takeoff stage, the drive to maturity, and the age of high mass consumption. Now let's discuss each of these stages. We'll start with the traditional society. The traditional society was the era before the time of Newton, where there is dependency on the primary sectors of the economy. There was almost 70% to 80% of the population who depended on agriculture. And it can be observed that there was lack of innovations, and as a result, there is lack of acceptance of innovations and changes. And the economy was a monopoly of the landlords. These landlords have administered area in the society. In short, there was lack of industrialization, in which infrastructure facilities are lacking, and expenditure was also unproductive. During the period, there was the dominance of religious beliefs and expenses on religious traditions and activities. Expenses on religious traditions and activities was actually prioritized, and as a result, economy is static in nature. There was a lack of new processes adoption in industrialization, in business, and agriculture. And because of that, there was very small or no change in agriculture, in industry, and business. While the quality of the person depended on their caste, so the caste system was part of the society. There was backward in development, and society is involved in breed, in caste, family. So that was the traditional society as described by Rostow in his theory. Now let's move with the second stage, the precondition for takeoff. This was actually the preparation of self-sufficient development, or meaning before takeoff. And this started in the 15th and 16th century in Europe. And people and society as a whole was actually thinking towards economic development. And this breed for, of course, nationalism and of realizing about profits. So as a result, there was improvement in savings and investment, and the emergence of new entrepreneurs across fields. And because of that, development of new financial institutions and banks emerged, and that belief or spirit of economic development was introduced. So there are 3 important changes which can be observed from the first stage to the second stage. The first is the creation of upgradation capital should be generated from the surplus of agriculture production. The second is a technological revolution in agriculture to fulfill the need of urban and rural people. And the third is, with the increase in the productivity of agriculture, there should be demand of different types of machines, fertilizers, and chemicals. So, as a result, export of natural resources, raw material exchange of capital goods, and machinery were introduced. Next are the important characteristics of this shift from the first to the second stage. There was an observable decrease in dependency of agriculture, and the first phase, development of industry, transport, was observed, and that desire of new technology adoption in agriculture was introduced. Of course, the creation of new technology for industries. As a result, people are busy, so there was a low birth rate, and traditions, particularly those that concerns our religious beliefs, were being demolished or it was being minimized. And the investment growth rate is better than population growth rate. And in general, there was an improvement in the net investment. Now let's proceed with the third stage, the takeoff stage. This is the important stage of economic growth, particularly among the development sectors. There was a strong self-belief of development and a higher growth rate of development in this stage. Changes in the society was manifested generally 20 to 30 years time period, and increase in the number of employees due to industrialization. There was development of the service sector. We have the tertiary sector that produces services, maintenance and repairs, training, consulting, etc. No? There was an increase in savings as well as in investment. This starts also the Industrial Revolution, or the transition of new manufacturing processes to machines. As a result, there was an implementation of advanced technologies, healthy international atmosphere, and motivation from political revolution. Basic changes in production was observed, and as well as modernization and automation in agriculture. Just the use of modern technology covering all crops, and because of that, there was a lower dependency on agriculture. So there are three observable conditions for take-off stage. First is the higher net investment rate. Actually, productive investment during this period should be 10.5% to 12.5% of the national income. When we speak of national income, that is the total value of a country's final output of all new goods and services produced in 1 year. The second is the development of leading sectors, such as for the primary sectors, those that concerns with extraction and production of raw materials such as farming, fishing, logging, hunting, mining, and many others. While for the secondary sectors, those producing finished goods such as those in construction and manufacturing, utilities, and the like. While the service sectors are those that produces services such as housekeeping, tours, nursing, teaching, and many others. The third is the structural changes in cultural society. These are this dramatic shift in the way a country or the industry or the market operates as brought about by economic development. So positive changes in the generation of capital on the basis of culture was observed in this takeoff stage. That's why it was considered as one of its conditions. The next is the drive to maturity. This is said to be the self-sustained development, a development that meets the needs of the present. It was self-inspired development at the same time, where appropriate output of new technologies was being advanced, and maximum benefit from the available advancement in machines were seen. Generally, investment rate is 10% and of 60 years of time period after the takeoff stage. Skilled manpower in the country were available, or those people with ability to do a particular job were available. So as a result, there was an improvement in the skills and advancements of industrialists. So as you have seen, there was a limited attraction of facilities during the drive to maturity stage. As you can see in the slide I have here, countries which are self-inspired for development in the particular period. You have, of course, England, which was matured stage was recorded in 1850, followed by the United States in the 1900s, and Germany and France in 1910. You have also Sweden in 1930, Japan in 1940, and Russia in 1950. So, of course, European countries, as seen on the slide, have reached its matured stage compared to the rest of the countries except with that of the United States. And the last is the age of high mass consumption, where there was a higher consumption level, where most of the people consume a large amount of goods due to high purchasing power. And of course, a higher number of products and services are available in the economy. And there was an expansion of the service sector as needed. And in response to that, of course, social welfare and security were provided, or these are the assistance program designed to ensure the well-being of its people or citizen. So there was a sufficient consumption era in this period, and the possibility and the ability of the people to use and consume luxurious products which people prior to this mass consumption were not able to enjoy. And of course, there was the urbanization in the economy, meaning there was a rapid process of urbanization that helped boost economic growth by increasing demand among urban businesses and individual consumers. So we have now some important factors in this stage of Rostow. We have the rapid growth and expansion of the service sector, and this calls for an increase in the workers and employees. And of course, also the increase in urbanization, which focus is of production of the capital goods, manufacturing lesser than the durable goods, and new inventions and the new product developments, as well as production technology development target become secondary. And there was the importance to the social welfare and security, and in the end, equal distribution of national income, or distribution fair enough among its population. And added to this is the progressive taxation policy, or a taxation whose rate increases as taxable amount increases. And the workers were given sufficient rest, and there was an improvement in the per capita income, or the average income earned per person in a given area in a specified year. And another thing is full employment and economic security and welfare were available. So in short, there is no cyclical or deficit demand unemployment. There was also an improvement in the production and consumption of durable goods. When we say durable goods, these are goods which does not quickly wear out, or those that yields utility over time, such as computers, equipments, cars, jewelry, and many others. And of course, the government or the state has to introduce changes in the national policy to expand national boundaries or beyond national boundaries, or those with other territories. That would be all, class, for this morning. And for your activity, assess your local economy. Based on the stages of development by Rostow, which stage do the local economy falls? Justify your answer by citing local data or statistics. Again, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.